Sean from Better HR, and I'm joined with HR and employment law expert Weta. How are you, Weta?
Good, thank you, Sean. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Okay, so we're here to answer a few common HR questions that we're getting recently. Okay, so one of the most topical questions at the moment is vaccines, vaccine mandates. So can employers require their employees to be vaccinated?
Well, Sean, that depends on a number of factors. The first thing would be whether or not there's a public health order in place that requires them to be vaccinated. So there are a couple of industries, like in the health industry, that they're required to be vaccinated
Under public health orders?
under a public health order, and as such, the employer would need to engage the employee to get vaccinated or provide reasons why they cannot be vaccinated.
And there's been a lot of court cases in that area that have upheld the employer's right to do that, correct?
Absolutely. So what the courts have said is that if there is a public health order, it would be reasonable for an employer to require their employee to be vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay, so what happens if there's not a public health order?
If they're not covered by a public health order, it will be dependent on whether or not the employer has identified any health and safety risks in the workplace. Once they do that, they would probably have implemented a policy, and that policy now will be the one that they'll use to give a lawful and reasonable directive for an employee to get vaccinated. Before an employer implements a policy, we generally recommend that they go through an anonymous survey, for example, just to get a feel of what their workforce thinks about mandatory vaccination.
What the mood of the employees is? Yeah.
Correct, and whether how many have actually been vaccinated, because it could be a matter where everyone is vaccinated, so you don't need to worry about it.
So it's preempting if you're going to have those few that have caused trouble?
Correct, yes. So that preempts those teetering issues early on,
Mm-hmm.
and then consult with the employees of the vaccination policy that is going to be implemented or is being suggested to be implemented as per the award requirements. Most awards would have a requirement to consult in major work changes, so in accordance with that, they need to do that. And once the consultation has been conducted, they would be implementing the policy.
Mm-hmm.
And from there on, they would be able to issue directives for employees to get vaccinated.
Okay, so policies they can find in our software.
Correct?
So our subscribers can download those easily and use those templates.
Correct.
And
We
then
have
if they
the survey as well, the anonymous survey is there.
Okay.
We have the policies and any consultation templates as well are on the Better HR portal.
Okay, and if they need advice on how to implement those directives or any of those steps.
We absolutely encourage everyone, all the businesses, to contact us first before they make any assessment that there is a health and safety risk factor, because at the end of the day, it will also depend on whether or not the position that the employee works in poses a real risk to health and safety. So, for example, if you have an accountant at your workplace who is able to work remotely, in that position, and they refuse to get vaccinated, then it might, if you do require them to be vaccinated, it might be a matter where they could potentially state that they're being discriminated against. So there's some discrimination laws that might apply in different situations. So they just need to be mindful of those teetering issues and get in touch with us for advice.
Okay, so if there's not a public health order, it really depends on a specific circumstance of the employee.
Correct.
And what the level of safety risk is in that circumstance.
Correct.
And then going through and negotiating with the employee what is reasonable in the circumstances.
Correct.
Okay, so if they need any of those policies or any of the advice to guide them through that, they can use our system. They're all in the portal. If they need advice in writing, they can use that, or they can pick up the phone and call our HR advice hotline.
Anytime.
And that's great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.